Little throwback. Here's McNorth. He's got a ton of room. Down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Bison. North Dakota State wins the Division I football championship.
North Dakota State hopes door number 1 will lead them back to a national championship game berth. But 6-time champion Georgia Southern stands in their way. It's an electric atmosphere here in Fargo, North Dakota. You're watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It may be blistering cold outside, but here inside the Fargo Dome, it is 70 degrees, and the fans are ready for some semifinal football. The top-seeded North Dakota State Bison hosts Georgia Southern in a rematch of a semifinal game played almost a year ago to the day. The winner of this one will move on to the championship tilt in Frisco, Texas on January 5th. The other semifinal game features Eastern Washington and Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State lost the championship a year ago. Eastern Washington won the title 2 seasons ago. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Neal. This is Andre Ware. So glad you can be with us tonight. As we said, almost a year ago to the day, these two teams met inside this building. It was North Dakota State getting past Georgia Southern. And Andre, they did it with defense, and that has certainly been something that has typified a Craig Ball football team. And this year, I don't think anybody in the country has played better defense than the Bison.
Yeah, if you're old school, they're Nebraska of the 1990s, where Craig Ball was a defensive coordinator there. They won championships with defense and a strong running game. If you're current and new school, well, they're the Alabama of the SCS, where defense ranks #1 in that category in total defense. They have yet to allow a rushing touchdown here in the playoffs, and they're led by their junior linebacker, Grant Olson, who last week against Wofford had 29 tackles in that football game. They've been magical defensively.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Olson will be busy again tonight because he's going to face one of the best, if not best, offenses in the country. This is a Georgia Southern team that has run up and down all over everybody all season long. They hope that can continue tonight, but that will be a tough test.
Yeah, something's got to break here because you look at Georgia Southern, they're #1 in the FCS in rushing offense. Just been fantastic there. Total offense, they're 8th, and then they can score the football when they get down the field. They can make big plays through their running game. They are led by their quarterback, Jarek McKinnon, who played everywhere, running back, wide receiver, defensive back at times, but they really turned the corner when they decided to make him a full-time quarterback. You see the numbers there, 29 rushes, 171, and the 4 touchdowns a week ago.
Yeah, speaking of a week ago, over 600 yards rushing for Georgia Southern. That'll be a tough test against North Dakota State tonight. It's the semifinals. It's on the other side of the break.
NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, proud to be the official financial planning partner of the NCAA.
Woke up this morning here in Fargo. The feel-like temperature was 1 degree. Good thing we're inside. Third member of our team is down on the sidelines. Her name is Kara Capuano. Let's join her now. Hey, Kara.
Hey, Dave, you know, the Bison fans call their home stadium the Thunderdome, and it's their energy that helps it earn the nickname every home game. Georgia Southern head coach Jeff Monken told us the Eagles' experience here last year in the semifinals really took them by surprise. Monken called it deafening, one of the best atmospheres in college football. He said it was even louder here than at Alabama's Bryant-Denny Stadium, where the Eagles also played last year. Monken said this year his players at least know what to expect. To reinforce their memories, the staff blasted stadium noise at practices Tuesday and Wednesday at highest decibelity.
Well, Kara, they could have a record crowd inside the Fargo Dome tonight. It is packed, not an empty seat in the building, and we are just about set for some football. Georgia Southern 10-3 against the 12-1 Bison of North Dakota State. Georgia State won the toss. They defer, so the Bison will have the football first. dropped on the spot. So Georgia Southern's defense will come on the field as we take a look at North Dakota State's impact players offensively.
Yeah, they're led by the quarterback, Brock Jensen, just a junior, completed 72% of his passes last week. Sam O'Jury, as well as Grant Olson, the defensive leader, and then Sam O'Jury, their spark in the backfield. Marcus Williams on the outside at corner is a guy that we'll see that will play on Sundays.
So Brock Jensen, the junior, last year completed 67% of his passes on the way to the national championship, completing a little bit less than that at 62% this year. Will go under center, and this will be a very deliberate offense from North Dakota State. Out of the I formation, it'll play fake. Over the outstretched hands of Ryan Smith, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Jensen, a big kid, 6'3", 225.
30-5 as a starter. He's won a lot of football games, won a state championship, and then came here and as a sophomore, won an FCS national championship a year ago. You see, they're 2nd in school history and career passing yards. He's solid, Dave.
North Dakota State scoring 33 points a game. That is the best in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. In motion, Nate Moody, number 80. Out of the I, the handoff goes to O'Jury. He'll be stopped at the 20-yard line. Give him a couple of yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, they're you mentioned very deliberate offense, very scheduled offense as well. And by that, I mean they have to have success on 1st and 2nd down. They love to live in 3rd and medium. And then they're outstanding in 3rd down situations where they're 52% on the season. And watch that little red clock, the play clock. It doesn't snap. I watched a lot of film on this team. Won't snap it until it's inside of about 10 seconds.
That play clock's down to 6. Jensen gets the snap. Buys himself a little bit of time and then overthrows Ryan Smith. So the Georgia Southern defense stands tall on their opening possession, and they force a 3 and out.
Well, that's big because this team, they really control the football against Georgia Southern last year, limited the opportunities. And then now they passed the first test by getting off the field on a 3 and out.
Ben LeCompte punted away. 16th in the FCS in average at 42.3 yards per punt. Arian Robinson back to return. Robinson averaging 6.5 yards per punt return with a long of 37 yards this year. Boy, it's a good kick, a booming kick. Robinson backpedals about 18 yards and catches it at the 20. And he is dropped on the spot. 56-yard punt with no return. Andre, take a look at the Georgia Southern impact players.
Yeah, they're led by their quarterback, Jarek McKinnon, who's already over 1,600 rushing yards this season. If you don't stop Dominic Swope, it's going to be a long night for North Dakota State. Defensively, Deion DeBose on the outside, their best player on the defensive front, and then their playmaking linebacker, John Stevenson, an outside linebacker.
McKinnon, the quarterback, gets 3 on the play. Ricky Hagan makes the first tackle for the Bison. There is McKinnon. Interesting stories. He wasn't even their starting quarterback early in the year. Wasn't until about midway through week 4 that he got the job, Andre.
Yeah, he's one of the better athletes on the team, and they lined him up at receiver, wide receiver, running back, all the running back positions, a little defensive back. And when he settled in at quarterback, they became a much better offensive unit.
6 games in a row over 100 yards for McKinnon, including a couple of weeks ago when he ran for over 300. Here's the option to the far side. McKinnon keeps it, first down at the 35-yard line.
You know, Dave, the difference in this Georgia Southern offense is there a lot of speed, a lot more speed at the skill positions. You see McKinnon here, nice block by Dominic Swoop, the fullback. He's got the speed now at the quarterback position to really threaten the edges of North Dakota State's defense.
That gain of 10 sets up the Eagles at the 35. Inside handoff. A Bison there to slow down. Dominique Swope, only a gain of a couple on the play.
Just look at the time of possession here. 35 minutes, 35-15 for North Dakota State. That leads the FCS. 33-30 for Georgia Southern. You know what that spells? You better take care of the football as well as take advantage of your possessions when you have it and put points on the board, because they're going to be limited in this game.
Second down and 8. Play clock at 5. McKinnon keeps it again. Will fall forward, maybe 2 on the play, but it'll be third down coming up for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, really forced to go outside and away from their bread and butter. Dominic Swoop, the fullback. Most triple option teams try to establish the fullback early, because if you can have success there and inside, it opens up the other 2 options. They know North Dakota State's strong up front. They've got to go to the perimeter with the football.
Izzy Uyo comes in at quarterback, number 11 for Georgia Southern. Will throw on third down, and the pass is complete. It goes to Kentrell Showers. Kentrell makes the 15-yard catch, and that'll be a first down for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, Izzy Uyo is the better passer of the 2 quarterbacks. So when it's an obvious passing situation, we'll see him throughout the night. A 51% completion percentage for his career. You know, they'll lean on him, not afraid to put him in at any point in this ball game.
McKinnon will keep it. Falls forward to the 42-yard line, picks up 4.
And trying to be solid in the middle. That front 4 of North Dakota State going to be tested thoroughly. Mentioned the fullback as well as McKinnon. They run that triple option. You'll see some counter option where it starts one way, they pull some linemen, and he'll pivot, go back out the back door. It's a fun offense to watch.
On second down, McKinnon keeps it again, falls to the 30. Let's call it the 36.5-yard line. Give him 5 on the play. Mike Hardy, a defensive end, leads the charge for the Bison. And now you're looking at third down at about a yard.
Well, if you're used to no huddle offenses, you're going to see a lot of huddling in this one. They make sure they get the play calls right, get everybody set, and McKinnon's reads are a little bit different, or a lot different from most quarterbacks. Most eyes are down the field. He's reading the line of scrimmage.
McKinnon keeps it first down to the 31. Is stacked up there, but you can move the chains for Georgia Southern. Grant Olson led the charge for North Dakota State. Grant Olson with 137 tackles coming in to this game. Take a look at Georgia Southern, and had to bye in that first round and then just demolished Central Arkansas in the run game. That's when McKinnon went for over 300 yards.
Yeah, trailed last week to Old Dominion by 2 scores, and you get this type of offense down by 14, you usually can mail it in, but not this team.
There's the handoff to Swope, and he'll pick up a couple of yards. Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you bring that up, and that is something that Coach Monk had talked to us about. Don't think that we can't come back on you just because we run the wishbone. They outscored Old Dominion 28-0 in the 4th quarter last week.
Yeah, Jeff Monk, and he's kind of a disciple of Paul Johnson, the head coach at Georgia Tech. Coached with him for a number of years at Navy, was at Georgia Tech for a few years, and then last year became the head coach here at Georgia Southern.
10th play of the drive. Second down and 6. Ball sits at the 27. McKinnon keeps it to the 20. Inside the 15-yard line. Another first down for the Eagles. Christian Dudzik, the safety, slams him to the turf, but 14 yards on the carry for McKinnon.
A couple of nice blocks on the outside. Logan Daves, the right guard, as well as Garrett Fry. Then you got to have your fullback blocking with your quarterback decides to keep the football. Dominic Swope as well out in front, chopping down defenders to pave the way for Jerick McKinnon.
Toss sweep near side. Robinson. He'll take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him 6 on the play. Travis Beck makes the tackle, the sophomore linebacker. And Georgia Southern in the red zone. They have scored a touchdown 64% of the time. Would like to improve on that. They've had some field goal issues throughout the year. I think that might be an understatement.
Yeah, 38 touchdowns, 7 field goals.
But 7 of 18 field goal department in the red zone.
And that's where it's tough. They need to get themselves into the end zone.
McKinnon to the 5 and stop there. So now you're looking at a big 3rd down. Gain of 2 on the play.
Well, it has reached the point, Dave, for North Dakota State where you've given up so much on the ground and so many big plays in the run game that now it becomes a situation where it's a small win. Just holding to the field goal attempt here is a small win for North Dakota State's defense.
3rd down and a yard.
Not so sure if I'm Jeff Monken for this kind of success running that I don't go for it on 4th down if I'm short here.
Going to be close. McKinnon falls forward. Jerick in on the tackle.
Right.
And he'll be a little bit shy of that 1st down. And now
I think there's no doubt the success they've had in this first series of downs. I think you go for it. You got North Dakota State pinned deep on their end of the field. The positive well outweighs the negative in this situation.
4th down and a yard. 14th play of the drive coming up.
There's a mix-up.
Play clock down to 4.
Get a timeout called here and talk about it.
So Georgia Southern needs about a yard for the 1st down to keep the drive alive. Stay with us, back in a moment. Georgia Southern had to call a timeout as the play clock was winding down, and they're facing a 4th down and about a yard inside the 5-yard line of North Dakota State. North Dakota State had the football first, went 3 and out. Georgia Southern has moved it inside the 5 on 14 plays. Sweep to the corner, touchdown. Georgia Southern goes 14 plays, 80 yards. J.J. Wilcox into the end zone. It's 6-0 Eagles.
Well, nice play. They went so long with the play clock. I thought they were maybe just trying to draw North Dakota State off sides. They made the nice shift in the adjustment to get Wilcox into the end zone.
Hanks, who has struggled in the field goal department, the true freshman, will attempt to put it after, and it's blocked. The Eagles will fall on it, and the kicking woes continue. Christian Dudzik blocks the extra point. But the Eagles do put 6 on the board. J.J. Wilcox from 4 yards out. J.J. Wilcox, a starting safety, the senior out of Cairo, Georgia, with his first carry on the offensive side of the ball, takes it into the end zone as Georgia Southern goes 79 yards in almost 7.5 minutes. And for North Dakota State, Andre, this is amazing. That is the first rushing touchdown allowed in the FCS playoffs, only the fourth allowed all season long.
Well, we knew something had to give because Georgia Southern runs the football so well, it's going to be tough to keep them out of the end zone. And judging by that first drive, they're going to give North Dakota some problems all throughout this football game.
Luke Jerry will kick it off. Marcus Williams, the All-American. Williams out to the 25-yard line and tripped up there.
Let's go back and take a look at the touchdown. Usually when you get this slot and it's this formation, you think Georgia Southern's going to go left, but they motion Wilcox, and then it's the pitch to outflank the defense. A couple of nice blocks as well, and then just the speed to get to the end zone. That nice chop down block was the one that sprung Wilcox by Darian Robinson.
First down and 10 for the Bison. They went 3 and out on their opening possession. Little speed sweep to the far side. John Crockett close to the first down over the 35. Give them 9.5, maybe 10. Let's see if they'll move the chains. They will. That'll be good enough for a first down.
Boy, they've been waiting a couple of years for John Crockett to get in uniform. A couple of academic hiccups kept him on the sideline for 2 years, and he's ready to go. 896 yards coming into this ball game.
Averaging 69 yards a game on the ground, over 5 yards per carry. 3 100-yard games on the season. And North Dakota State once again deliberate to the line of scrimmage. Now the I formation. Jensen looking to throw to the far side. Pass is caught. Well spotted at the 45-yard line. That'll be a 9-yard pickup. Zach Farah, the sophomore receiver, with the reception.
Yeah, good possession receiver. Zach Farah setting the defender up, and then a nice little out route, little comeback along the sideline, and Brock Jensen took a shot. Look at this, standing in there, the junior quarterback. They just describe him as a winner. Stands in the pocket, just wins football games.
So second down and very short. Crockett, the tailback, will get the carry. He'll have the first down near midfield. Pickup of 4.
Crockett's a slasher and a downhill runner. Mentioned the fact that he sat out the last 2 seasons, but very explosive. And just about every Big Ten school recruited him out of high school. Runs with strength, the explosion I mentioned, and has great change of direction.
Fresh set of downs for North Dakota State. Andrew Oakland goes in motion. He'll stop. Create a block for Crockett. Outside of Georgia Southern territory. That'll be a first down near the 40. Give him a dozen. J.J. Wilcox, the safety, comes up to make the play for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's a guy that can change this game in a hurry. Crockett, watch here. It'll start right. Kind of senses the hole. Sets up his block. Colville, the guard, with a nice block to spring him right there. And that's the one that gets him to the 3rd level.
This offense, slowed down by Wofford last week, had their lowest output of 262 yards, was still able to come away with a 14-7 win. Jensen looking to throw. The 35-yard line. It's Derek Lee. Gain of 7.
It's only Lee's 2nd catch of the season, and he had to sub in Kevin Badlin, the other tight end, as a backup. Garrett Bruin actually was hurt earlier in the season, shoulder and ankle problems, and it really forced Lee and Kevin Badlin into action.
Second down and 4 yards to go. Once again, play clock down to 5, 4. They'll snap it. And Crockett will get it to the 30-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a first down. For more on the sophomore running back out of Minneapolis, let's go down to Kara.
Well, guys, Crockett was not active in that first offensive series for the Bison, and I watched him on the sideline. He had a look of intensity and energy. He kept jumping on and off the exercise bike. You could tell he was fired up about producing for this offense tonight.
Well, you talk about a guy that is relishing the opportunity to play and finally get himself academically eligible to get himself in a uniform. It's John Crockett.
Recruited out of high school by
everybody.
Big Ten schools really on him, but he came here to North Dakota State. Jensen to throw. Batted in the air, and it'll fall incomplete. Down around the 12-yard line.
Looking for Zach Fry. We got off to a great start the first 5 games of the year, and then he suffered a shoulder injury that slowed him down for a while. But he's the go-to receiver, number 82 for North Dakota State.
These two clubs love to possess the football, and Georgia Southern's one drive resulted in a touchdown, but the extra point was blocked. It took 7:26 off the clock. Little fake, and Jensen will keep it. He's to the 10, to the 5. Knocked out of bounds at the 4-yard line by Darius Eubanks. A pickup of 26 for the Bison.
Yeah, this is one thing they're not afraid to do. You pick this up on film when you watch this Bison offense. Watch the strong side of the set. It's left. So everybody flows with a fake pitch, and then Jensen is to the outside on the edge with nobody in front of him. That sets the defense. You get the flow. You allow the blocking to set itself in front of Jensen, and then it's a big play.
So now it's 1st and goal for the Bison from the 4-yard line. Here's Crockett. He'll take it down to the 1. Did he get in? They'll say no, just shy. It'll be inside the 1-yard line.
Maybe take a look at this one. Not quite sure the knee was down. He kept working. It looked like he stopped right there, but he just keeps churning. Yep, good call. Yep. Knees clearly down and short of the goal line.
Officiating crew out of the CAA. Second down and a half a yard. 10th play of this drive.
For a little quarterback sneak here. Nobody over the center.
They'll hand it off to Crockett. Flag down on the far side of the field, however. As Crockett is denied, might have lost a few inches on the play. Here's our referee, Stuart Mullins.
Offside, 19 of the defense. Half of this is to the goal. Repeat, 2nd down.
Well, you're going to see right here, nobody over the center. There's a vacated area right there. You know me, I hate all this ball handling when it's down close to the goal line. You allow for penetration. The strong defensive front's going to get under offensive linemen trying to come off. Just take all that complication out of it, and there it is again, presenting itself. Begging you to run the quarterback sneak.
They'll hand it off to Crockett. He takes it out. Touchdown, North Dakota State. So the Bison an extra point away from taking the lead. Adam Keller, 51 out of 54 in the PAT department, and some movement by somebody for North Dakota State. They'll back them up 5.
Full start, number 73 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. We will play the try.
Joe Lund, the Starting center. 3-year starter up front and a team captain, and nobody feels worse than him. Those are mistakes that team captains aren't supposed to make.
So a 25-yard. Extra point attempt on the way. And Keller has his blocked. Brent Russell, the All-American, steps up to put a big paw on it, and both teams have had an extra point rejected. The second block of the year for Russell, but they do pick up 6, and we're
NCAA FCS Football Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. And in part by Pizza Hut. Now get any Pizza Hut pizza, any size, with any toppings when you carry out. Pizza Hut. Make it great.
Craig Bohl, the head coach of North Dakota State, now in his 10th season here, the second all-time winningest coach in Bison history. One of the impressive numbers that stands out to me here at North Dakota State, he is 6-3 against FBS teams. This year they knocked off Colorado State 22-7.
You know what's impressive, Dave, when you look at the returning starters for this team, the championship team, 7 on offense, 3 on defense, yet they're back in the championship game. And he can coach football. As a mentor of Tom Osborne at Nebraska, and just believes in a lot of his philosophies.
One game away from the championship tilt in Frisco, Texas, tied at 6. Both teams with lengthy drives, 46 seconds to go before the first 15 has concluded. And that'll be a touchback. The NCAA Division I Football Championship concludes in Frisco, Texas, just outside of Dallas in 3 weeks, where the FCS champion will be crowned. The game kicks off at 1 o'clock Eastern on January 5th on ESPN2. For more information, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Boy, had a good one last year. North Dakota State knocked off Sam Houston State. So from the 25-yard line, Jarek McKinnon back on the field. McKinnon 9 carries, 48 yards. He'll pick up 4 on the play. Cole Jurek led the charge for the Bison.
Well, watch Danny Lukey, and he just swallows up Dominic Swope. That's how important the fullback is to this offense. Everybody's assigned right here to someone. You've got it right there. He has the football or not at the top of the screen. Go tackle. Let everybody else just kind of do their responsibilities. Trust your teammates when you play an offense like this.
McKinnon keeps the football out to the 35. That'll be good enough for a first down. Grant Olson makes his 4th tackle of the evening, but that'll do it for the first 15 minutes from the Fargo Dome. And North Dakota State and Georgia Southern all locked up at 6. The winner moves on to the FCS championship tilt. You're watching the NCAA FCS football championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano with you from the Fargo Dome. Look at our first quarter statistics and pretty much what we expected, Andre.
Yeah, pretty even ball game statistically, and time of possession certainly favoring Georgia Southern, but they have the football now. But that leads us to where we are, tied at 6 apiece.
Georgia Southern's opening drive went for a touchdown. 7 minutes and 26 seconds off the clock. Handoff goes to Dominic Swope. He'll take it over the 40 to the 42-yard line. Give him 7. Grant Olson, tackle number 5 for the middle linebacker, who had 29 tackles in the quarterfinal game against Wofford in this building. A 14-7 win for the Bison.
Boy, Swope can really stress a defense. Averaging 6 8.2 yards per carry coming in. And if he gets going, as I mentioned earlier, a long night for North Dakota State.
That'll be a first down for Georgia Southern at the 47. Time to get an update. Let's head to ESPN Studios. Adnan Verk, what's up?
Well, Dave, the Celtics and Rockets over on ESPN. Boston has lost 4 of its last 5 road games, while Houston has won 7 of its last 9 at home. Currently, Houston has an 8-point lead early in the second quarter of play. James Harden doing his thing. We'll get you back for more college football. Dave Neal, Andre Ware. Dave?
Thanks, Adnan. First down and 10 for the Eagles. North Dakota State came in giving up just 78 yards a game rushing. Georgia Southern, to this point, closing in on 100 yards rushing. That was a gain of 3 for McKinnon.
Oh, and it's all feel for him. Knowing when to put it in there and give it to Dominic Swope. He feels the defense collapse down inside, pull it out. And he takes a lot of hits, but knows how to protect himself, runs tough. Those defensive numbers right there on the season. Just allowed 78.5 yards a game. And tonight already 89 yards on the ground for Georgia Southern.
They only give up 200 yards total offense.
Yeah.
Second down, inside handoff. Nowhere for Swope to run. Only a yard on the play. They'll spot it inside North Dakota State territory at the 49, but now you're looking at third down and about, let's call it 6.5, maybe 7 here.
Well, they're not bad on third down themselves on the season coming in. Georgia Southern 45% on third downs. It's about where you want to be. Third down and medium with the triple option offense. They run 3 options to pick up 6 yards. Going to get you a lot of first downs.
McKinnon to throw over the middle, has his man Swope. He's to the 15, still on his feet. To the 5, touchdown, Georgia Southern, 49 yards.
It's only his 3rd career reception. And right here, a nice delivery by Jerick McKinnon to his fullback. Fooled everybody. They're thinking run, they're thinking option, and Georgia Southern pulls out a little trickery.
This point after is good. McKinnon, just his 19th completion of the year for Jerick McKinnon. But he now has 7 touchdown passes here in 2012. This one goes 49 yards to Dominique Swope, and it's 13-6 Georgia Southern. Well, the McKinnon to Swope passing combination hasn't really been heard of, but you can put it in the books now. 49 yards on the pitch and catch. The NCAA FCS Championship continues Saturday with a second semifinal as Sam Houston State takes on second-seeded Eastern Washington. The game kicks off tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPNU and also live on Watch ESPN.
Well, we'll be tuned in. We'll get a chance to see whoever gets to the championship game.
Willie Fritz and his Sam Houston State club taking on Bo Baldwin's Eastern Washington bunch on the red turf in Cheney, Washington. Well, we've had 4 possessions. We've had 3 touchdowns. Luke Cherry will kick it off. Marcus Williams back to return. Brendan Pierce will bring it out, and he is hit and loses the football, but a flag comes down. Multiple flags come flying in, but the ball recovered by North Dakota State at the 15.
Yeah, maybe a face mask penalty here that's going to give North Dakota State 15 yards even after the fumble recovery.
There are multiple fouls on the play. Personal foul, face mask on the kicking team. Holding on the receiving team. Those penalties offset. We will replay the down.
Do it all over. And the face mask right there at the end of the play. That might cause you to put it on the ground.
Especially when one guy is running full speed one direction, you're going the other direction.
Face mask goes totally opposite direction. Oh, yeah.
Well, they said they were going to replay the down.
Now re-kick this, baby.
Georgia Southern's defense still kind of hanging out there, saying we're ready to go, but they're going to take a few minutes off as we re-kick this. Jeff Monken wants an explanation. By the way, Jeff's cousin, Todd Monken, became the head coach at Southern Miss earlier this week. Taking over for Ellis Johnson, who was 1 year there and now is the defensive coordinator at Auburn. As the world turns in college football coaching. So Pierce and Williams will be back to return the kick, and Georgia Southern's kickoff team, Brendan Pierre back to return. And Georgia State's kickoff team, Georgia Southern's kickoff team, still trying to get back on the field. Jeff Monken not happy. He's being told by the officials to get his kick team out there, and had a few words in that direction. Georgia Southern, this is their third trip to the semifinals the last 3 years. They just haven't been able to kick that door down. This is a team that has won more FCS playoff games than any other school in history. They are 45-12 all time in the FCS playoffs. 6 national titles. So Luke Cherry will kick it again for Georgia Southern. This one will be taken by Williams a couple of yards deep. And Marcus turns the corner to the 20 and is walloped at the 28-yard line. They'll spot it at the 29. Edwin Jackson with a good special teams hit for Georgia Southern. A proud program at Georgia Southern. Jeff Monken took over for this team. They were coached by Chris Hatcher, who's now up at Murray State coach, and ran the spread offense. Coach Monken came in and, of course, that Paul Johnson bloodline, if you will.
Modeled this program after Paul Johnson when he was at Navy and Georgia Tech.
But took over a team that was a spread team and got him back to running the wishbone and didn't miss a beat. Pass caught. Zach Vra out to the 39-yard line. Flag down. That'll be close to the first down. See what this penalty is all about. After a smooth first 15 minutes.
An eligible receiver downfield. Number 4, the offense was covered. Went downfield on the pass. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Here, Ryan Smith, the team's fastest receiver, actually been suffering from a calf injury the last couple of games, or actually last week. Suffered it last week. They like to use him. Speed sweeps, screen passes.
So now you're looking at first down and 15.
First and 15 for the Bison.
Jensen, 2 out of 5 for 15 yards throwing the football. Handed off to Crockett. Excuse me, that's O'Jury with the carry, gain of 6.
Well, they look a lot alike.
Identical.
Yeah, built alike, both about 6 foot, both about 205, and He's got good quickness, speed, runs a little more physical than Crockett. Grinder type back when they just want to work some clock and methodically move the chains. He's the guy they go to, Sam O'Jury.
O'Jury averaging about 73 yards a game on the ground. Good combination with he and Crockett. They produce about 130 yards combined. Couple of tight ends. Single setback is O'Jury. Down goes Jensen at the 20-yard line. A loss of 8, and it's Brent Russell, the All-American, now with 4.5 sacks on the year. And 25 career sacks.
Watch 66 here. A little swim move and then right to the quarterback. He is a dominant force, NFL caliber player. The coaches feel like he's going to play on the next level. It'll be a late round pick for somebody. High motor guy that you have to game plan for him.
And he just became Georgia Southern's all-time sack leader with that stop. Young man now has 55 tackles for loss in his career. Jensen stopped at the 25-yard line on 3rd down at 18. So here comes North Dakota State's punting unit. Blake Riley will get credit for that stop.
Well,
let's check in with Kara.
The level of focus for Brent Russell down here on the sidelines has been amazing. His leadership for this defense. Last night, the team watched a video, relived their tough semifinal here last year. And he told me after he watched the video, he has thought of that game every single snap in practice and every game since.
Off to a good start here in the Fargo Dome. LeCompte to punt it away. It's another good kick. Robinson will let it hit at the 35, fielded on a hop. And it'll be marked at the 27-yard line, a 48-yard return. Jerick McKinnon and Georgia Southern, an offense that racks up 35 points a game. Back on the field when we return.
NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Ram Trucks, Guts, Glory, Ram, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano inside the Fargo Dome. Georgia Southern with the football. They lead it 13-6, 9:17 to play in the second quarter. Georgia Southern has racked up 154 yards of offense, and they will toss sweep it. Robinson trying to get the corner. He will nose it out to the 32-yard line, a gain of 5 on the play. Carlton Littlejohn on that tackle for North Dakota State.
You mentioned the 154 yards of total offense before that carry for Georgia Southern. Jerick McKinnon had 115 of that 154. 49 passing, 66 rushing. He has controlled this football game.
Flags. Looks like some movement up front.
Full start, number 58 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, that's big when you really depend on success on 1st and 2nd down to stay on schedule. That was one of the keys that Jeff Monken told us about. Staying on schedule, converting on 3rd downs, and not allowing penalties to kind of move you behind the down and distance markers. They needed to stay on schedule.
Inside handoff goes to Swope. He'll get it out over the 35.
That'll put you back on schedule in a hurry.
Grant Olson brings him down, but not before Swope picks up 9 of the needed 10.
Well, that's right in the face mask of your defense. Fullback coming downhill. Big physical guy at 5'11", 221.
McKinnon just trying to pick up the 1st down on the sneak. He'll have it.
It's easy right there. Quarterback sneak, take the ball handling out of it. He had good push up front. Logan Daves, the right guard. Second team all-conference player, and you see the success right there for Georgia Southern. Putting together drives that later in this game could become very frustrating for North Dakota State.
McKinnon follows the lead block of Swope. Anthony Lavoie with the stop, a gain of 5 on the play. You know, what's interesting about the McKinnon story is last year, due to some other situations, at this time a year ago, he was playing defensive back.
He was a corner. Lining up at cornerback last year in the playoffs because he's such a dynamic athlete. They had to get him on the field. He's played just about all 3 running back positions. And then once he settled under center, they became a much better football team.
Swope on the carry.
You talk about, look how low he is right there. And why is he that low? So you can get explosion. You can hide the football as well. You don't know when it's been, if it's given to the fullback or if he's pulled it.
Is that how you used to take the snap back in the day?
A little bit higher than that. I was reading out there, not the immediate line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 2. McKinnon, nowhere to go. Bottled up, flags come in as well. That may be a hold against Georgia Southern in the process. A loss of a yard on the play.
Well, Ryan Drevlo, their best defensive lineman inside. Nice job. Get him for a chop block as well. Well, watch the flow of the defense here. Drevlo getting low, getting off the block, and then making a nice tackle.
Chop block, number 76 offense, 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
We're talking to the defensive coaches. Chris Kleiman, the defensive coordinator, says he's the guy that can fight through double teams. Our best inside run stopper. He'll be tested throughout this game.
Now you go to 3rd down and 17.
Now, this is not a place that Georgia Southern wants to live. 3rd and long. They are not comfortable in this situation.
Izzy Ute in at quarterback. He's completed 1 pass today. Will throw near side. High throw pass is caught. Kentrella Showers with another catch.
Yeah, Andre Martin on the coverage, and the completion's there. You just want to make sure you make the tackle and keep him short of the 1st down marker. And now finally Georgia Southern going to send the punting unit on the field. Well, Ute's perfect tonight.
Yeah.
Come in, throw 2 passes, 2 completions. That one just a little bit short of the 1st down.
So on 4th and 4, here is Luke Cherry. Wobbly kick that will hit at the 25 and take a Georgia Southern roll inside the 15 all the way down to the 12-yard line. A 44-yard punt. So when we come back, North Dakota State and Brock Jensen, their leader at quarterback, back on the field as they trail by a touchdown. Frisco for the national championship coming up January 5th in Frisco, Texas. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, and already Georgia Southern has racked up almost 200 yards of offense. That's what North Dakota State allows per game all season long. What's the difference in this one?
Well, it's Jared McKinnon. He's been able to pretty much do what he wants to do. Then the surprise in the first half of this game, throwing the football. They've thrown 3 passes. They've completed all 3 passes. That one a little bit short of the 1st down, but McKinnon has been able to do just about whatever he wanted to do, with the exception of that last drive by Georgia Southern.
North Dakota State now with the football backed up inside their 15. The I formation. Crockett in at tailback. He'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Brent Russell. Time to get another update. Here's Adnan.
All right, Dave, over on ESPN News, St. Thomas, Minnesota, first appearance in the Division III National Championship facing Mount Union. Currently, Mount Union is up 14-7 early in the third quarter, seeking its 11th national title. We'll have highlights at the half alongside David Pollack. For now, I'll get you back to more Georgia Southern leading North Dakota State. Dave?
Thanks, Adnan. John Crockett still tailback on a 2nd down and 10. Talk about a dynasty. There's one there at that level. That pass is caught by Zach Vaughn and dropped. Big hit came from Lavelle Westbrooks to knock it out of Raw's hands.
Yeah, he moved to corner from safety, so he's a physical guy.
Timeout for an injured player.
Physical player at 6 foot, about 175 pounds, and their most experienced corner.
Boy, and Brent Russell is the injured Eagle on the turf back around the 8-yard line. That's your All-American, your all-time sack leader.
Right here you see him inside, good hand movement, good strength, and then one of his own players. It happens. Falls right into the back of his legs. Working around that ankle area.
Came into this one with 39 total tackles. 7.5 tackles for loss. But he has been double teamed all season long. He's been the guy you got to stop if you want to run the football. Well, while the Georgia Southern trainers check on Mr. Russell, we'll step aside. Back in a moment. Watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and that is Brent Russell being helped to that Georgia Southern bench.
They couldn't put pressure on it initially coming off the field, and they finally there starting to put a little pressure on it. You get a little more movement. Big time tape job, maybe get the big fella back in this game.
So it's 3rd down and 10 for North Dakota State. Derek Lang in at running back now. 4-man pressure. Jensen over the middle. Pass is caught, but should be maybe a little shy of the 1st down. Ryan Smith with the catch they'll spot it inside the 22-yard line.
Well, I thought he was right at the 1st down marker and would get a little bit better spot. Watch here, and Jensen delivering the football right there as he catches it. Looked like he was at the 22 when he made the catch, but going to mark him a little bit short of it.
And Craig Bowl doesn't want to mess around with this, and he will send out his punting team, Ben LeCompte. And they may look at this spot.
They take a look at it, because when he caught the ball.
The ruling on the previous play is the runner was short of the line to gain. That play is under further review.
When he caught the ball, it looked like both feet came down around the 22. And then after the tackle, ended up where the ball was spotted. So it's going to be close. They're square in by Smith. Watch here. He's up around the 23.
It's going to be hard to.
That's close.
Maybe this is a better look, but
it's spotted just over the 21, which is where he was tackled. Both feet came down around the 22, which I don't know, once it's respotted, if it still will give him enough for the 1st down.
Boy, Ryan Smith, the guy that's a little bit banged up, didn't know if we would see the 2nd-team All-Missouri Valley performer.
Yeah, excellent return, man. He's not doing that tonight, and didn't know that they were going to have his services until, yesterday because of that calf injury he suffered last week.
Boy, a little guy, 5'7". You can't even see him amongst those other linemen up front. There he is in there.
You can see him. He just buzzes by because he's their fastest player. Fastest wide receiver on the team.
And leads them in receptions. Came into this one with 43 grabs. They usually run a little jet sweep with him with his speed, but
yeah.
Coach Bull telling us today they probably still have it in the package, but not with him because of the injury.
Yeah, and you saw Crockett do that earlier. That's usually a play that Ryan Smith will have his hands on, those speed sweeps, jet sweeps, as well as some screens.
After further review, it has been determined that the receiver caught the ball beyond the line to gain. The ball was placed at the 23-yard line. First down and 10 for North Dakota State. Please reset the clock to 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Please put 4 minutes, 10 seconds on the game clock. The clock will start on the ready for play.
That's an excellent call by the replay officials, because initially that route was run about the 23-yard line, and then he came down right there. The foot hits, and then he's tackled. And it's still, even with that look, he's beyond the first down mark.
So instead of bringing out your punting team, you now have a fresh set of downs at the 23-yard line. Here's that speed sweep we were talking about a moment ago with Crockett. And Georgia Southern plays it well. A gain of 3. John Stevenson led the way.
Not a whole lot there for Crockett, and just shows you some nice athletic ability. Picked up a nice block by Derek Lang in order to just pick up the 3 yards. Boy, I like Crockett.
So second down and 7 with 3:24 to play in the first half. 13-6 Georgia Southern lead. Quick slam, incomplete. It'll be third down and 7.
Trying to find Vra. Big time targets. He actually leads them in receiving yards with 569 coming in tonight. Brock Jensen not himself. 3 of 8, 26 yards. Of course, a 21 on the ground, but you got to find a way to get him in some type of rhythm.
Derek Lang stands to the right of Brock Jensen. Here comes some pressure. Jensen's throw over the middle is caught. Zach Vra will have the first down over the 35 to the 36. A gain of 10. Lavelle Westbrooks brings it down.
Well, they show the blitz a little bit too early, which allowed North Dakota State to pick it up. That little hint move right back to the outside fooled Wilcox, and that's what gets Vra open. He bites, goes outside, Vra comes inside, and they time it up well with Jensen.
Crockett back in the game. He's the single setback. He'll get the handoff, dance it around the line, nowhere to run. It'll be second down coming up. North Dakota State scored their 1 touchdown on a nice 10-play, 74-yard drive back in the first quarter. Georgia Southern has 2 touchdown drives. The first one went 7.5 minutes off the clock, 79 yards. The second TD drive went 75 yards. That was a touchdown pass from McKinnon to Swopes for 49 yards. On second down and 8, play clock at 5. There goes Crockett. Had a little bit of seam, but it closed in a hurry. Still driving though, close to the 45. Give him 5. It'll be third down and maybe 2. J.J. Wilcox led the way along with John Stevenson.
That's a big drive for North Dakota State to keep pace with Georgia Southern. 1/3, about a minute 30 left here in the first half, but you don't want to fall 2 scores down to a team like Georgia Southern that could really chew away at the clock.
Third down and 2.5 for the Bison. Play clock down to 5. Here comes some heat from the Eagles. They go near side, wide open as Ryan Smith in midfield. That'll be a first down and stops the clock after a gain of 6.
Now keep in mind, you see there all 3 timeouts for North Dakota State Every time there's a first down, the clock will stop automatically as well when a player gets out of bounds. So that's a lot of time on the clock for this offense.
About 10 plays, and they've only made it to midfield. Nickel and dime you all the way down. That's kind of their MO offensively. Jensen lofts one up near side. Plenty of jersey graphic going on there. Zach Fromm being chased by Nick Wright.
Wright gave up a big play last week to Old Dominion, and they go right back at it. They get their best receiver, Vra, matched against Wright, who's the third corner on this Georgia Southern defense, and that gives them an easy 15 yards. We'll watch here, just a nice move, nice setting right inside, and gives the quarterback room along the sideline to move him away. But you see Wright just grab the jersey on the back portion of the shoulder pads.
So first down and 10 from the 35. Jensen to throw. Down at the 21-yard line. Trevor Gebhardt with a great grab, 14 yards. Deion Stanley on the coverage.
Well, that's my favorite throw right there, the corner route. And he does it from the wide hash mark. The hash mark farthest away from the receiver to that side, and it was timed. Otherwise, if it's just a slight bit off, it's going the other way.
And there's 12 on the field.
On the offense, breaking the huddle with 12 players, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, really no reason to rush. You have 3 timeouts. Just take a timeout. You want to make a substitution? Talk about it.
Greg Bull thinking about taking a timeout. Well, with that timeout, that'll give us a chance to head back to our ESPN studios, find out what's coming up at halftime. Here's Adnan.
All right, Dave, lots of good stuff to look forward to, including the Division III title game over on ESPN. We'll have highlights of that game, plus the 7 bowl games to look out for before Christmas, and Pollock's players to watch. He's got some great nuggets to pass along, just like Santa. He's giving all of his good stuff out. That's coming up at the half. For now, get you back to more of Dave Neal and Andre Ware. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Adnan. I bet Mr. Pollock's got about 2 or 3 workouts in already. Guy's a machine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Craig Bowles' club trying to not only put some points on the board, but they would love to take these seconds down as well, leave Georgia Southern nothing to play with when they get the football. Ball sits at the 26. North Dakota State, unlike Georgia Southern, has been pretty good in the field goal department. Adam Keller, 16 out of 21 this year. Jensen over the middle, pass caught. Ryan Smith to the 20. They'll pick up the yardage they just lost a moment ago. Deion Stanley on the coverage.
You have to take another timeout when you throw across the middle for a short gain. Yeah, got to take the timeout because you didn't have the big gain or a first down to stop the clock to get yourself set to call another play.
Well, anybody that's just dialing us up right now, here's how we got here back in the first quarter. Georgia Southern, 14 plays, 79 yards. Wilcox, his first carry of the year, the safety, takes the football in for the touchdown. Then North Dakota State answers back, 74-yard drive, 5.5 minutes off the clock. Georgia Southern going to the air. Yes, that's what I said. Georgia Southern goes to the air as McKinnon hits Swope on a 49-yard touchdown pitch and catch. Both clubs had their opening extra points blocked. That's why we have the odd number here, 13-6 our score. Georgia Southern 191 yards. And to put that in perspective, North Dakota State came in here allowing just 78 yards rushing per game and 206 yards total offense. But the Bison knocking on the door here. Second down, and let's call it 8 from the 19.
Watch the tight end in the middle of the field right here.
They'll go to the end zone. Smith had some space but turned the wrong way. Coverage by Stanley.
Well, they came back with the same set, and Kevin Vadelin, the tight end there, number 85, came free the play before, and they go the same defense, but they walk the safeties down. Nobody in the middle of the field for the big tight end.
I'm amazed at how quiet this crowd gets when North Dakota State has the ball and how loud they are when Georgia Southern possesses the football. Well trained here inside the Fargo Dome. Third down and 8. Pressure comes. Jensen is popped as he throws the football. It's incomplete. Pressure came from Eubanks.
Had what he wanted. He had the blitz coming, man-to-man across the board. Zero coverage, which means nobody in the middle of the field, but he didn't have time to stand in there. Darius Eubanks able to get to Jensen before he could actually get set to throw an accurate pass.
So Adam Keller, the first team all-conference kicker, inside the 40, is 14 out of 15 this year. This is from 36, and he hammers that one home. So North Dakota State leaves just 25 seconds on the clock. They cut the Georgia Southern lead to 4. Well, a season-long journey comes to a close Saturday when Valdosta State faces Winston-Salem State to determine the top team in NCAA Division II football. The NCAA Division II Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. It's the Blazers and the Rams Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2 and also live on Watch ESPN. Well, that Bison drive, 14 plays, 69 yards, 4:36 off the clock. 36-yard field goal makes it 13-9. Of course, school got out. Exams concluded a couple days ago. The university here at North Dakota State decided to keep the dorms open for a couple of days to let the students stay around and come enjoy the football.
Smart move. This is a noisy place. When it gets going, North Dakota State's on defense. Makes it difficult for the offense to communicate. It's been fun.
Still wearing his graduation gown.
I'd wear it too. A few years of hard work that have paid off.
Now he's got to go get a job, though.
Sleep in that baby. You worked for it.
Then LeCompte to kick it away, and that will sail out of bounds. Boy, not exactly what Coach Ball was hoping for. So that'll give Georgia Southern some pretty good field position.
On the kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
But with a 13-9 lead, don't look for Jeff Monken's offense to try to go down the field and light it up. They'll just stick with what they do. That's the triple option. Keep the ball in Jerick McKinnon's hands. And work this 25 seconds off and go into halftime up 13-9.
Run a little option game. McKinnon dropped on the spot by Travis Beck.
A little counter option where you start one direction, get the defense to flow, and try to get the edge coming the other way, but he takes care of the football, and they're in no hurry to run another play here.
That's the 10th tackle for loss for Mr. Beck, and that'll do it for the first half of football. Explosive first quarter, but things kind of settled down here in the second quarter. The winner of this one will move on to the national championship tilt in Frisco, Texas on January 5th. 34 minutes of football coming up. And it should be a lot of fun from the Fargo Dome here in North Dakota. Let's check in with Kara as she is finally caught up with Coach Monken of Georgia Southern.
Coach, being able to hold North Dakota State there to a field goal instead of a touchdown, the defensive stand, what did that say about their tenacity in the first half?
I thought the kids did a nice job keeping them out of the end zone. Where we were disappointed, we had that big third down, 3rd and 10. We let them go. We would have made them punt. I'm hoping we get another chance with the ball.
What's going to make the key difference in the second half to hold on to the lead?
Just to play hard. This is a great football team we're playing, and hopefully we can tough it out and find a way to win.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Dave?
All right, thank you very much, Kara. Our score here, 13-9, Georgia Southern on the road. Their 3rd straight trip into the semifinals, trying to bust through that door and get back to the championship where they have won 6. When we come back after the break, it'll be the studio. Adnan and David Pollack. You're watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Back inside the Fargo Dome, Dave Neal, Andre Ware. Georgia Southern comes in as the 5th seeded team in the FCS playoffs. They lead by 4 over the top seeded North Dakota State Bison. This is Andre. I'm Dave. Glad you could join us as we continue on here. The winner of this one heads to the national title game January 5th in Frisco, Texas. 30 more minutes of football. But Andre, assess that first 30 minutes for us.
Well, I think it's about what we expected. A pretty evenly matched ball game. I think the difference in it for me is Georgia Southern's ability to throw the football. Good, consistent quarterback play from Jerick McKinnon. And then the touchdown pass that he had. They've been perfect in the passing game.
Let's take a look at our Reese's perfect play and go back to the quarterback play.
Yeah, just right here, it just kind of fools everybody. Their ability to get the outside edges in this game affects coverage. You see the flow of the linebackers, the safety gets out of position, and it allows the fullback, Dominic Swope, to go right up the seam. Excellent touch on the football from Jerick McKinnon, and some pretty good running after the catch by Swope to get in the end zone.
Take a look at some first half statistics. And well, last year at halftime, North Dakota State led 14-7 as these two clubs battled almost a year ago to the day. It was back on December 17th when these two clubs met last year in the semifinals. But Georgia Southern held below 200 yards rushing in that game. Georgia Southern with 113 on the ground right now, 190 total yards. On the flip side, North Dakota State with 136 yards. Georgia Southern had that opening drive that was, I guess, just a classic example of Eagle football. 7.5 minutes off the clock with 79 yards for a touchdown.
And equally as important, that last scoring opportunity where North Dakota State, right before the half ended, able to come away with a field goal. It was Georgia Southern getting the football first here in the second half. This really could have gotten out of hand.
Georgia Southern won the opening toss. They deferred so they could have this opportunity to start the second half. Good kick down the corner, taken by Robinson. Robinson with some room right up the middle. He's out to the 35-yard line. Good return. That'll set up his Eagle offense in nice field position. Take a look at some of our Georgia Southern Eagles impact players and how they performed in the first half.
Yeah, Jerick McKinnon, he certainly didn't disappoint. 121 yards of the 190 total yards that Georgia Southern has. He's accounted for. Swope has been himself in the middle with a big touchdown catch as well. DeVos on defense, 1 tackle, and then Stevenson has added 2 from that outside linebacker position.
Here's McKinnon. Gain of a couple on the play. Travis Beck with 7 tackles tonight. The sophomore linebacker.
Well, right here, able to track it down. Everybody knows their responsibility. And then now it's just 2 options of the 3 that they usually have. It's just quarterback and pitch man. They use Swope to try to get the outside. And North Dakota State does a nice job of slowing things down and containing Georgia Southern.
McKinnon to the 42-yard line. Picks up 4. Ricky Hagan led the way. Now you're looking at 3rd down, and let's call it 3.
Yeah, and that's right where they want to be. That play there designed to get them right back on schedule, where they end up in 3rd medium, 3rd down, and short for Jerick McKinnon.
Look at their option breakdown. Only pitched the ball 3 times in the first half.
Yeah, and McKinnon's been able to get the edge without having to pitch it. They've gone pitch responsibility, which has freed some things up for McKinnon. Well, Garrett Fry may have jumped here. May have flinched.
Full start. Offense number 58. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Cole Jerick made sure that he pointed it out against Fry. Flinched just a little bit. They ran and told the teacher. That got him in trouble.
Third down and 8 now. McKinnon gets the corner, has the first down into North Dakota State territory. A gain of 16, and it looked like that was going to be for a loss of 4 or 5 yards.
Well, we saw the misdirection with a touchdown pass to Swope. That right there is just enough to get Jerick to bite inside and down and inside and give the edge to Jerick McKinnon. Well, what a nice athlete. Understands this system, takes care of the football. And when you get him in the open field, good things happen.
McKinnon, 19 carries, 95 yards. He'll keep it here again. And McKinnon to the 42-yard line. Give him 5 on that point. It doesn't look like he's getting much, but there it is, 4, 5, 6 yards a carry.
And that's what kills you. Usually it's the fullback in this offense as the first option, where they go inside to Swope, and if he gets going, then it's really tough.
An official's timeout for an injured player.
But what they've chosen to do, Dave, is use Swope as a blocker for McKinnon. And he's just following him right in the hole after he throws a block. He allows the offensive line to set up blocks. And he kind of moseys in there 4 or 5 yards a pop.
Second down and 5 and another false start. Logan Diggs that time just jumped forward.
For offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Well, Diggs came into this program as a walk-on. He's really developed physically in about a year. Now one of the strongest players on the team, and the team's best offensive lineman, was voted 2nd team all conference. He's now on scholarship.
McKinnon breaks a tackle, keeps it off the far side, still on his feet. Ball's in the air, he lost the handle. Who's got it?
Well, you praise him for taking care of the football, and then it comes out. But that's an excellent job by North Dakota State's defense of tackling the football. He's up in a crowded area. And they got the first turnover of this ball game.
And it was turnovers a year ago that haunted Georgia Southern. 3 turnovers paved the way for a North Dakota State 35-7 win.
Boy, you're just fighting to get extra yards, and you get in a crowded area. You got to put the ball away. Christian Dudzik, the free safety, comes in, rakes it out of there, and then there's a free-for-all to get to the football.
Dudzik forced it. Olsen came up with it. His 2nd fumble recovery of the year. And North Dakota State sets up at the 41-yard line.
Well, this is when I like to take a shot. When you get a big turnover and a momentum swing, go down the field.
O'Jury out over the 45 to the 46. A gain of 6 on the play. Eubanks trips him up. Good news for Georgia Southern fans. I saw number 66, Brent Russell, the All-American, back in the middle of that lineup. Heavily taped right ankle for the big fella.
Wonder how much that's going to affect his movement, but boy, is he strong on the inside.
So they'll line up in the eye on 2nd down and 4. O'Jury breaks free into the open field. It's a foot race, and he will win it. Adam Keller's point after is good. And the Bison have taken a 3-point lead. Off the turnover, North Dakota State makes Georgia Southern pay. 16-13 Bison. Sam O'Jury, the junior tailback with the longest run of the year. 53 yards and a touchdown.
Watch the block of the center, Joe Lund. He's going to block back. They pull the right guard around, who will get to the second level, Tyler Jimistad, and that's the block that's going to free up Sam O'Jury. Watch 71. He works up to the second level, and then it's out the back door and a foot race to the end zone. Nice block by the center. Jimistad pulls around and catches the linebacker on the second level, and then it's a foot race for O'Jury. With that sub 4.5 speed, not going to be caught, Dave.
That is the 10th rushing touchdown of the year for O'Jury out of Barrington, Illinois. Big contributor on the team a year ago when North Dakota State captured the FCS national title. Lecomp's kick will sail down to the goal line. Taken by J.J. Wilcox, and he is stopped at the 15. Let's go downstairs, check in with Kara. Had a chance to visit with Coach Bowl out of the locker room at halftime.
Coach Bowl told his defense they need to do a better job on first down. They're giving up too many yards. He told his offense, hey, you need to stay on schedule with your productivity. You can't make any mistakes. And the most important message was to the whole team, guys. He said, hang in there. It's only a one-possession game. And now a one-possession game in favor of the Bison.
On 1st and 10, the handoff to the up-back. Swope will get a couple of yards.
Well, they tried to soften it up early with McKinnon and Swope being the blocking back, and now they've tried to come back to it with that regular triple option going to Swope inside. And they are so strong up front, this Bison defensive front.
There's the pitch. Jonathan Bryant pushed out of bounds after a 2-yard pickup by Marcus Williams, the All-American at corner.
Yeah, the conference's defensive player of the year and one of our impact players going to have some outside leverage responsibilities in this game. Not going to have many coverage responsibilities, but has to come up and run support. And he passes the test on that down.
Izzy Uyuk in at quarterback. And he is dropped back at the 5.
about you, but I feel a momentum swing. They blitz the linebacker, Carlton Littlejohn. He gets there, and it's a just make sure you get your ute on the ground. He did it, and the field position has swung in favor of North Dakota State.
And there will be a flag in the end zone. Dudzik on the return, but all for naught.
Here's Wonder. This is the big one.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 32. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, you talk about getting a bailout right here. Once Jordan Champion at the bottom, he's going to come free, trying to get the block and just enough of Cherry. That's why you got to lay out across and in front of where you think the punter's going to let it go if you're going to go for the block there. Well, he had some excellent field position and then let Georgia Southern out.
Swope will take it over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Give him 6. Cole Jurek in on that tackle. That's 4 stops for Jurek from his defensive end position.
Oh, and that's the bread and butter of this offense. Going right there, the triple option. Giving it to Swope inside. I mentioned earlier he came into this game averaging about 6.2 yards a carry. And if they can get that going, they got with a reprieve on this drive. Get dangerous.
There goes Swope again over the 30. That should be good enough for the first down.
Boy, he runs with power. Churning those legs when he engages contact.
Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons for the sophomore out of Buford, Georgia. 9 carries, 38 yards. And they haven't been easy. Remember, this is a Georgia Southern team, Andre, that a week ago ran for 602 yards on the ground against Old Dominion. And 7 rushing touchdowns. Toss sweep. Trey Butler.
Well, what a play by Beck. Their outside linebacker. He had 11 tackles last week. And you see why. So athletic. And you see the speed closing from inside out. Watch him in the middle. Right there. Close from inside out. Reads it. He's got the pitch man on this particular play. That's a nice job. Nice open field tackle.
Well, you mentioned 11 tackles last week. He's got 10 already. 6:50 to go, third quarter here at the Fargo Dome. 2nd down and 7. There's the pitch, far side. Bryant trying to get the corner, can't do it. Marcus Williams, the junior, out of Minneapolis.
Boy, he almost lost outside contain. Watch Williams here. You're the last line of defense. You cannot allow the pitch man to get outside Bryant.
You just wonder when Georgia Southern's going to break one. They've had 58 plays this year over 25 yards. 11 of them over 50.
Yep, you have to be so disciplined defensively when you play them.
They will throw. McKinnon up top. There's a big play. They hit Bryant down to the 20-yard line.
Just mentioned being disciplined, and that calls for it on the back end as well. You got to come up and run support so many times. They give the run fake to Swope. It allows Bryant to get behind the secondary, and Dudzik forced a fumble earlier. Well, once again, there's the big play you were asking for.
First down and 10 at the 20 now after the 42-yard gain. flag down at the line of scrimmage. This play should never have gotten started. A false start coming up against Georgia Southern.
Full start on the offense on the wingback. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You know, if Georgia Southern doesn't score, having the ball back has already changed this game. Because that penalty, the roughing the kicker or the punter, is going to give them field position, the momentum. They already have the lead with a chance to extend. All that's erased, and here comes Georgia Southern.
First down at 15. And the Eagles will have to take a timeout. Play clock was down to 3 seconds.
Timeout. Georgia Southern. It's their first charge. Timeout of the half.
Well, that'll let this Fargo Dome crowd catch their breath, rest their voices for a couple of minutes. Back in a moment.
NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Verizon. Upgrade your human specifications with Droid DNA by HTC. And Macy's.
Back in the Fargo Dome. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Eric Capuano down the sidelines. And the NCAA Division I Football Championship concludes in Frisco, Texas in 3 weeks, where the FCS champion will be crowned. The game kicks off at 1 o'clock Eastern on January 5th on ESPN2. For more info, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Well, Andre, the Eagles are driving first down at 15. And maybe the momentum has switched maybe back to the Georgia Southern sideline. McKinnon turns the corner to the 10, 5. Touchdown Eagles. 25 yards. McKinnon now with 7 straight 100-yard games.
Well, we talked about outside containment being so important when you face this offense. And it looked like Marcus Williams gave up the outside containment with a great block by Dominic Swoop, the fullback.
Well, that point after was blocked, but it still got through. And McKinnon. This is what got it all going. North Dakota State would have had it at the 40-yard line. Instead, the penalty gave it back to the Eagles, and they made the Bison pay. Boy, Georgia Southern just keeps pounding you until finally they force you into making a mistake. And that's what happened on that drive. A couple of North Dakota mistakes. Each team has really had a mistake. A fumble by McKinnon gave North Dakota State the football. 2 plays later, Ojiri goes 53 yards for a touchdown. Then the roughing the punter penalty against North Dakota State kept the drive alive, and the Eagles march it in for a touchdown. 20-16 our score.
Watch the block by Dominic Swoop, number 6, right there on Marcus Williams. That allows for McKinnon to get himself into the end zone. That block freed him up. He has played a splendid football game.
Junior out of Marietta, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. Now has 20 rushing touchdowns. An 85-yard drive. You got to remember, Georgia Southern also had 3 false starts on that drive. They were able to overcome that as well. Jerry's kick. Down to the 2. Marcus Williams. And he runs right into some traffic at the 20-yard line. Let's check in with Adnan Virk in the studio. Adnan.
Thanks, Dave. Over on ESPNU, it's a final. The Mount Union Purple Raiders over the St. Thomas of Minnesota Tommies. It's the 11th Division III National Championship since '93 for Mount Union. Their first since 2008 as they go 15-0. Run on the table, 16th title game appearance in the last 20 years, and they're victors yet again. Back to you, Dave.
That's amazing. Amazing. 11 since 93. They know how to win championships there.
And congratulations to Mount Union. North Dakota State, the FCS champion, trying to defend their title. Trail by 4 here late in the third quarter. Jensen will hand it off to John Crockett. Deion Stanley comes up from his safety position for his 4th tackle, a gain of 5 for Crockett. It's been O'Jury for a series, Crockett for a series.
And really no reason right now for Brent Vegan, the offensive coordinator, to change his game plan. Just down by 4 points. You gotta stay with what got you here. Mix and run and pass. It's a very balanced offense.
You look at Jensen. He's 7 out of 14, 63 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. Out of the I formation, this deliberate offense with the play clock at 5. Little play fake to the tight end. Bobble. Gain of 8. J.J. Wilcox on the stop.
Riedlin was a linebacker in high school and converted to tight end when he got to North Dakota State. You see right here, soft hands. Well thrown by Jensen as well to kind of keep this Georgia Southern defense off balance. A run with Crockett, come back with a play action, a little play pass to the tight end. Good mix.
Little stutter step by Crockett. He is dragged down at the 38. That looked like that was going to be a bigger play than it was, but a 6-yard pickup. Eubanks on a good stop.
Yeah, and Darius Eubanks he's a big guy on the back end at 6'2", 220. Not going very far when he gets those mitts on you. He played linebacker, outside linebacker a year ago, so he's an excellent tackler in the open field, and he shows it to you right there.
You know, interesting, Georgia Southern safeties are actually bigger than their linebackers.
Yeah, they feel like both guys will be in NFL camps, Eubanks and Wilcox, next year.
Jensen to throw. Lofts it up. Looking near side for Oakland, and it's incomplete. Lavelle Westbrook's on that coverage. And bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, Oakland's usually the possession receiver. This is really not his forte, getting deep down the field vertically. He's really flashed this season with Ryan Smith injured, off and on injured. It was due to see more time this week, and he's been in the game a lot.
Derek Lane slides in at running back, stands to the right of Jensen. Jensen is dropped back at the 33-yard line. A loss of 7 on the play. Dion DeBosch will get credit for that sack.
Yeah. First team all conference by the coaches, second team by the media. There's an excellent edge rusher right here at the top. He's going to be Joe Haig. He's back inside. Boy, a nice job there.
Ben LeCompte to punt it away. Darian Robinson stands back at the 20 for Georgia Southern. Boy, good booming kick. Robinson fields it over the shoulder, backpedals to the 5, and there's a block in the back. A couple of more flags come in. 56-yard punt for Ben LeCompte, who was 16th in the FCS in punting average, but that average of 42 is certainly going up. It's been a good night for the punter.
Yeah, coach has told us he can really turn the field in terms of field position. He came in averaging 43 yards.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 21 of the return team. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down.
43 yards a punt last week on 6 punts.
Well, Capital One Bowl Week kicks off Saturday on ESPN starting at 1 Eastern. 2 high-powered offenses square off in the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl as Arizona takes on Nevada. Then at 4:30 Eastern, Utah State makes their 2nd straight trip to the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, where they'll look to slow down Toledo's explosive offense. Capital One Bowl Week Saturday on ESPN, also live on Watch ESPN and on ESPN Radio. Well, let's see if the Bison D can step up here as Georgia Southern pinned back at the 5. Hand off to Swope. Still on his feet. Dominique Swope out to the 34-yard line. Give him 29 on the carry. Cole Jurek finally slows him down.
Oh, what a nice job. A soft spot right in here. And that's where they're going to go with Dominic Swope. He reads it. McKinnon reads it. And it turns into a big play. And you talk about getting yourself out of a hole. Runs like this will do it.
Swope now 67 yards on 10 carries. McKinnon backpedals the other way and will take it to the 44-yard line. That'll be close to a first down. Give them 11.
Well, they've gotten a lot of mileage out of that lead draw with a fullback in front and McKinnon just following the fullback into the hole. All of a sudden they turn back, go triple option, give it to Swope. There's a gaping hole for him to get through.
McKinnon, 9.5, maybe 10 on that carry. Let's see if they move the chains again. And they will.
Yep. Lead option again, where Swope is the lead blocker, and quarterback's just going to follow him. He kicks out. McKinnon cuts inside. That gives them enough for the first down.
McKinnon now 24 carries, 152 yards on the ground. Georgia Southern with 230 rushing tonight. Here's McKinnon again. Gain of 4 for Jerick McKinnon. Andre, the grind of just trying to stop this type of offense when they can run multiple plays on a possession. You're just asking so much of a defensive unit to maintain all their responsibilities.
Yep, it can be demoralizing to a defense when it's just coming from different angles. The fullback, quarterback, and the pitch man gets frustrated.
Well, the Bison down by 4. Trying to repeat as champs in the FCS. They'll need to make a little bit of a comeback here. Fourth quarter football on the other side. You're watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano down on the sidelines as Georgia Southern making their 3rd consecutive trip to the semifinals, 15 minutes away from busting through that door and getting back to the championship game. Part of the reason, this duo of McKinnon and Swope, they have been solid.
Well, Jerick McKinnon completing passes to go along with 156 yards. 2 big ones. One for a touchdown to Swope, the other one to Jonathan Bryant. Really got him out of a hole.
McKinnon 2 out of 2, 91 yards through the air. Second down. They'll hand it off to Swope. He's met after a 2-3 yard gain. So now you're looking at 3rd down and 2.5, maybe 3. Grant Olson with the tackle along with Ricky Hagan.
So this is where having a workhorse like Swope is really valuable. Frustrating for a defense, churning some clock, and he's just gashing you right in the heart of your defense.
Well, they have been stellar all year in 3rd downs defensively, but tonight Georgia Southern 6 out of 9. Swope grinding for that first down. He needs to get it to the 35. If the ball is touching the 35-yard line, just the nose, they should move the chains.
I think he's going to have the first down on the second effort. Just kind of spun, bounced outside, and then kept his legs moving. He's the kind of back that gets better with each carry. The later in the game, the better Swope gets.
Well, that's the kind of innocent-looking run that can win a game for you.
This frustrates a defense to no end.
Right, now you got to go back and you got to play sound assignment football again.
Because you know it's coming, yet you can't do anything about it.
First down and 10. All sitting on the 35-yard line of North Dakota State. McKinnon to throw again. Going to the end zone. Batted away at the last minute. Andre Martin Jr. with a heck of a play.
Well, that's a nice play by Martin on the outside, not to bite, get his eyes caught in the backfield on the play fake, and then to time it just right, working against Zach Walker on the outside. He started his career at Northern Iowa and then transferred here with Chris Kleiman when he became the defensive coordinator. He came in and really helped to solidify that back end.
William Banks, the junior, out of Augusta, Georgia, with the carry of 3.5, maybe 4 yards. Now you're looking at a third down, and let's call it 7.
He got a lot of time last year when Swope was out. Banks did carrying the ball. And carried it 5 times last week against Old Dominion. Guess who's back in the game?
Mr. Swope lines up behind the quarterback, McKinnon. They'll pitch it to Robinson, and he loses 3. Cole Jurek with a heck of a play from his defensive end spot. And now you're at 4th and 10 from the 35-yard line. What are you thinking here if you're Jeff Monken?
Well, we'll see right here. Watch. Let's take a look at Jurek first. Keeping outside leverage and then making a nice tackle in the open field. And I'd punt the football here. You got a lead and an opportunity to pin North Dakota State back deep.
Luke Cherry will loft it up in the air. The ball will hit it to 5. Georgia Southern was there to make a play, just couldn't get a hand on that football. Nick Wright almost kept it in play. Instead, North Dakota State will have it at the 20. They're down 4 in the 4th quarter. Georgia Southern leading by 4, 4th quarter football, and this place has been rocking all night long. But earlier tonight, as I think many of us are well aware of the tragic events that happened in Newtown, Connecticut, a moment of silence inside the Fargo Dome, and everybody took a deep breath. And Georgia Southern honoring Sandy Hook Elementary School with the SH on the back of their helmets tonight. And while we're enjoying this event, certainly our thoughts and prayers go out to those friends, family members in that devastated community. Just an awful, tragic event that will take a long time for this entire country to get over. But games will go on, and that's where we are here at North Dakota State at the Fargo Dome. As North Dakota State tries to answer the bell here, as they are down 4, trying to make a repeat performance at the championship game, where last year they were able to knock off Sam Houston State. In motion, John Crockett, but the football hits the turf, and Jensen picks it up and just runs out of bounds. Will end up losing a yard. Dion DeBose will get credit for the tackle for loss.
It looked like they wanted to run that speed sweep to Crockett, and it got caught. The quarterback center exchange, and then it was going to be just a designed run by the quarterback. They pulled a couple of offensive linemen out in front of Jensen, but he's lucky that it was just a loss of 1.
Second 11, quick throw to the far side. Here's Smith trying to dance out of some traffic, can't do it. Lavelle Westbrook's the first man there. That'll pick up 5, though.
And Smith was out there all by himself. Nobody covered him up. Jensen saw it, got to it fast, and that sets him up in 3rd and medium, 3rd down and 6.
third downs tonight. The Bison, 3 out of 7.
Timeout. North Dakota State. That's their first charge timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 11:28. 11 minutes, 28 seconds. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, Craig Bowl told us that you have to execute at this level when you get to this stage of the game almost flawlessly. They force a Georgia Southern turnover. The fumble by McKinnon gives the Bison the football. A couple plays later, here goes Sam Ojuri, longest run of the year, 53 yards to the end zone. But right after that, a mistake in the special teams department by North Dakota State. They were going to have the football at Georgia Southern's 40-yard line. Instead, the Eagles got a first down, kept the drive alive, eventually scoring on the McKinnon touchdown. And the Eagles took the lead back by 4. And the winner of this one will move on to Frisco. Eastern Washington, Sam Houston State tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern. That one will be on ESPNU. And of course, Eastern Washington won the championship 2 years ago behind quarterback Bo Levi Mitchell, who you said is playing some Canadian football. Huh?
Yeah, playing for Calgary. He played in the Grey Cup against the Toronto Argonauts.
Well, Carson Wentz, the backup quarterback, checks into the game. They were going to try to throw off of that. He gets walloped, but I think he was down before the ball came out. But they were looking to throw, put the football in Wentz's hands and let him throw it, as Jensen was also in the game. They'll pick up the first down, but not exactly how they drew it up.
Yeah, they're going to have Jensen go up the sideline. They release the receivers, freeze it. Right here, you got Jensen. You got a receiver here and one here. Just about everybody's covered up. So he does a nice job of pulling it down, shows some wheels, and then picks up the first down.
Ojuri will take it to the 38, gain of a couple. Westbrooks will lead the way and pick up the tackle.
So many players in that situation, backup players, or you're throwing halfback passes, force the ball down the field into coverage, and it winds up being a turnover. Wentz did a nice job there, seeing everybody's covered up. I'm not going to force it, but I can make a play with my legs. He helped his team out there. Got him out of a bind on a third down situation.
Gebhardt in motion to the top of your screen. They'll run it to that side. Here's Ojuri trying to get the corner, and he is tackled at the 40-yard line. Eubanks with a nice tackle. Gain of 3 for Ojuri.
That's a nice job by Eubanks coming up. And he is a big-time hitter. They moved him to safety during fall camp, and you're talking about an excellent open field tackler. There he is.
I mean, he's FBS size at safety, 6'2",
No doubt.
220. Third down and 6. Clock's at 9:37 to play. Over the middle, incomplete. Jensen got some heat from Kyle Olbeck. Forced to throw a little bit early, and here comes the North Dakota State punt team.
Boy, if you're Brock Jensen, you just got to anticipate blitz on third down in anything, because that's exactly what Georgia Southern's done. And until you pick it up and get you some max protection and a blitz beater, you're going to continue to get it.
Another good kick from LeCompte. This will hit at the 22 and take a North Dakota State roll all the way down to the 2-yard line. A 58-yard punt. Michael Murphy, the long snapper, races all the way down to make the good special teams play. Georgia Southern up by 4 with the football when we come back.
Nan Verkin, our college basketball studios earlier on ESPN. The Rockets defeat the Celtics, and what a poignant scene this was. Kevin McHale, Rockets coach who once drafted Kevin Garnett back in 1995, sharing a long embrace with Garnett. Garnett offering his condolences to McHale, whose daughter Sasha, 23 years of age, passed away November 24th. A long embrace here, and as you can see, McHale overcome with emotion from the gesture of his former players that he drafted, other Celtics as well, offering their condolences. Nice scene there as the Rockets go on to the victory earlier on ESPN. Back to Dave and Andre.
Thanks, Adnan. The story here, Georgia Southern by 4. McKinnon, 247 total yards on the ground. McKinnon has rushed for 156. North Dakota State with 151 as a team.
They've been here before. They always seem to find a way to get themselves out of a hole. Whether it's a swope run, a McKinnon run, a pass.
McKinnon stumbles forward and will pick up 4.5 yards. Travis Beck with another tackle. That is 19 stops. Excuse me, 14 stops for Travis Beck. Grant Olson, the middle linebacker, who had 29 tackles last week.
McKinnon got up a little slow, Dave. Late in that play, he got hit in the back going down and a little bit gimpy.
There's the pitch. Robinson will have the first down at the 20-yard line.
There's a get out of trouble card right there. It always seems to happen that they don't panic. They just do what they do and figure out a way to get themselves out of a hole. We'll see right here when McKinnon gets shaken up. That previous play late in this. It's Cole Jurek coming down late on McKinnon.
For more on McKinnon, let's go downstairs and visit with Kara.
I had a chance to talk to McKinnon last night after the team graduation, and he used 2 words to describe this team. He said relentless and willing. The difference in the semifinals this year, according to McKinnon, they put bad plays behind them and they just look forward to the next opportunity. He said that's been key in their success these playoffs.
They haven't had very many bad plays in this one tonight. Just the fumble that he gave up, but otherwise his performance been flawless.
Swope with the carry. He'll pick up a couple, but now it's going to be 3rd down and about 7 again. This is where the Bison are going to have to get off the field.
And you look at that clock, the game clock ticking away, and Georgia Southern is capable of eating up every bit of that. I was involved in a game years ago in the Emerald Bowl when Jeff Monken was on the staff with Paul Johnson, and they ate up over 14 minutes on a drive. Same type of offense.
Eagles 7 out of 11 on 3rd downs tonight. Oh, there's all kinds of confusion. Had 2 guys moving at the same time in the backfield.
Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That game was against Rocky Long's New Mexico team. Over 14 minutes. That drive started late in the 3rd quarter and lasted till just about all of the 4th quarter. So they can chew away at you with this offense and really turn that clock in their favor. But this is a tall order here when you get them in 3rd down and 11. Uncharted waters.
Well, you saw a shot of Izzy Uu, the quarterback who can sling it a little bit. They brought him in a couple times on 3rd and longs, but this will be McKinnon's show on 3rd down and 11. He'll keep it and pick up 4 yards. Ricky Hagan on the tackle, but now it's 4th down, and here comes that Georgia Southern punting unit.
And with any type of return, North Dakota State could have some decent field position to put together a go-ahead drive.
Dudzik back to return this punt. Luke Cherry will kick it away for Georgia Southern. Wobbly short kick. That hits at the 41 and takes a couple of bounces and does it with a nice job, and then he's hit on the spot. And there's another push, and I think Georgia Southern is going to be whistled for unsportsmanlike conduct.
Somebody lost their cool and gave a shove to one of these North Dakota State players, and they're going to pick up an additional 15.
After the play, personal foul, late hit on the kicking team, number 97, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Boy, Jeff Monken not happy with that. Giving up 15 yards, 5:49 to play. Bison down 4 with the football.
NCAA FCS Football Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up. And in part by Subway Restaurants. Get your own tender, juicy Subway steak melt today.
You're watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And it's coming down to the wire. Georgia Southern by 4. They were here a year ago on December 17th, but couldn't escape. They lost 35-7, had 3 turnovers. Now they're trying to turn the tables on North Dakota State, but the Bison with the football at the 47. Here goes Brock Jensen, the quarterback, to the 30. Falls forward to the 25, but a flag comes in.
Boy, it's going to be a hold on the receiver working outside. And you feel that block slipping away because the quarterback's coming. You got to just be disciplined enough to let go.
Holding, number 87 of the offense. 10-yard penalty will still leave the ball beyond the line to gain, first down.
Yeah, Andrew Oakland on that side gets caught. See, right here, you just got to be disciplined enough to let go.
That's close, though. Wasn't a lot, but it was enough.
Just grabbed enough of the jersey to get flagged for it. Still a nice play by Jensen.
It is
set it up well. Yeah, they set it up well, and he let the block set themselves and just exploded through the hole.
First down and 10 from the Georgia Southern 40-yard line. Here goes Crockett. Crockett brought down by Deion Stanley after he picks up 5. Looked like he could have got a few more yards if he keeps it up to the outside.
Well, I remember playing high school football with a guy named Rob Hill, where his feet sometimes got a little bit faster than his mind, and you want to make that cut, but you got to come under control.
You got to have fast feet for that to happen.
He was fast. There's no doubt he was fast.
I don't know how that is. Clock continues to move here at 4:52, 4:51. Second down and 5. Jensen keeps it. Oh, he was close. Brought down by Brent Russell.
What's the common trend in this? Both teams going to their playmakers and both being the quarterbacks. McKinnon for Georgia Southern and now Brock Jensen. Put the ball in your playmakers' hands and allow them to make plays. And it's been Jensen and all Jensen on this drive for North Dakota State.
First down and 10. Crockett is your tailback. They'll fake it to Crockett and throw. Incomplete. Flag comes in. There may be a late hit on Jensen.
Yeah, and it's going to be against Russell. With taped ankle and all, he was late hitting the quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 66. Defense, half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Well, a couple of big-time mistakes. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and that one late and low to go along with it.
Boy, Andre, that takes it inside the 15 down to the 12.5-yard line.
You almost want to slow down a little bit. You're going to leave some time for Georgia Southern to put a drive together.
Boy, 11 penalties, 88 yards for Georgia Southern. They came in on the year just 59 yards a game in that department. Here's Jensen. He'll take the pile with him down to the 10.
Short side of the field, little counter option of their own, but there's no pitch in that one. Jensen going to keep the football totally.
North Dakota State, the #1 seed in the FCS playoffs. Had their hands full with Wofford last week, but escaped with a 14-7 win. Down 4 here, stating the obvious, but they got to put it in the end zone. 2 tight end set. They'll fake it to Crockett. Jensen looking to throw, and will airmail it into the student section.
Boy, he missed Crockett. He's looking to the end zone. Crockett is wide open as the safety valve in the flat. Just keep an eye on 23 right there. There's the play fake. Jensen's looking. Now everybody freeze it. Everybody leaves Crockett sitting right there wide open to the end zone.
Let me ask you this. 3:16 is 3rd down. If you don't get it here, do you still think about kicking the field goal and hope you get the football back for one more shot?
That's a big hope. With the way that Georgia Southern's going at it, that's a lot of hope.
Here's Jensen trying to get the corner on the far side, and he won't have the first down, but he will be close. He'll pick up 5. That'll leave them maybe a 4th down and a couple.
That's a play designed to go for it here on 4th down. It may take a timeout to think about it, but that's a play call there to get you closer on 4th down, so that you're going to have a play call to pick up that last 3 yards.
Well, that'll leave him only 1 timeout. Oh, the drama of it all. FCS semifinals. North Dakota State defending champs. Can they pull it off? Georgia Southern leads by 4 late 4th quarter. The Bison facing a 4th down. Don't forget, coming up after this, it'll be Sports Center. Busy night in the NBA. They'll have all those highlights and so much more in the sports world coming up after we are finished here from the Fargo Dome in North Dakota. Craig Bohl decides he's going to go for it on 4th down, and let's call it a short 3, long 2. And now Jeff Monken wants a timeout.
Well, here goes a chess match. Get a look.
Georgia Southern.
Just wanted a look at the formation that North Dakota State was going to come out in so that he could better defend against it.
Well, a season-long journey comes to a close Saturday when Valdosta State faces Winston-Salem State to determine the top team in NCAA Division II football. The NCAA Division II football championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Blazers and Rams Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and also live on Watch ESPN. There are close to 20,000 in this building, and they have watched some excellent football. I can't wait till the FBS in 2 years, or the 2014 season.
It's the playoffs. Oh, yeah.
This is it. This is what we're going to have at the FBS, this kind of drama. I mean, what have we been waiting for?
There's a purity about the playoffs. You know, where at the end of the season, there's a definitive champion. No conversations, no debates.
Jeff Monken wants a timeout. He had substitution issues, and he is hot.
Southern. That's their 3rd and final.
He couldn't believe he couldn't get the right personnel on the field.
I'll tell you what, you burn 2 timeouts like that, you get the football back, you're going to limit your opportunities.
I mean, look at the confusion for the guys in the white jerseys.
Yeah, North Dakota State came out in the same exact formation as before the timeout, so you think you'd have the personnel right, the right call for it. Looked like they didn't have enough players on the field.
Now, of course, the winner of this one will move to Frisco. January 5th will be the national title game. And then Eastern Washington at Sam Houston State. Tomorrow, that game at 4 o'clock Eastern. You can catch that on ESPNU. And Georgia Southern's won 6 of these titles. They're the best playoff record in the FCS in history. Craig Bohl's team won the title a year ago. Eastern Washington was in the championship 2 seasons ago and won it. Sam Houston State lost to this Bison team last year for the title. The keeper from Jensen. Touchdown, North Dakota State. On 4th down and 3. They pick up the touchdown.
Was there any doubt who's going to carry the football? And you talk about putting a team on your back and leading them down the field. That's what Brock Jensen just accomplished. Spread them out, a little bit of motion, get you thinking that he's going to roll out.
After the play, personal foul, number 66 of the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the succeeding kickoff. We will play the try from the 3-yard line.
Yeah, that's Brent Russell again. Got a roughing the passer on that drive, as well as an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Point after is up and good. And North Dakota State leads it by 3. 3 minutes and 5 seconds left to play.
Spread them out, a little bit of motion. You're thinking pass, but then it is run all the way, and he was not going to be denied on the quarterback draw. Show it, and just a full head of steam into the end zone. Excellent play call. Brent Vegan, the offensive coordinator. They showed it, Dave, 3 times, 2 timeouts, and then the final play. You think Georgia Southern would have had the play defended. Same identical formation.
Well, Jensen on that drive, 5 rushes, 46 yards. Interesting, at halftime, we left the friendly confines of our press box up here and visiting with some of the North Dakota State fans, and one of the guys said, you know what, if we're going to win this game, Brock Jensen's got to make some plays. Right. Well, and guess what? Brock Jensen just makes some plays.
You know what? I don't mess around with trying to pin them inside the 10-yard line here. You're kicking off from the 50. Kick this baby out of the back of the end zone and make them go 80 yards. As well, field goals have been a challenge this year for Georgia Southern. Alex Hanks, their place kicker, 7 of 17 coming in to this ball game.
And that will sail through the uprights.
And I add to that, Dave, he had a extra point blocked. The first score of the game, so that's not a given, even if Georgia Southern's able to get themselves into field goal range.
And guess what? They even went out. It's been so bad that Jeff Monken went out and called the soccer coach, Kevin Kennedy, and said, you got anybody that can kick? There's Drew Ruggles. They just brought him in 2 days ago, a left footer out of Manassas, Virginia, off the Georgia Southern soccer team. Loss of a yard. Jurek with the stop.
And every time they're down inbounds, that clock's going to continue to run. You had to spend 2 timeouts trying to get things together defensively. 1 was burned unnecessarily.
McKinnon to throw.
And not a bad play call, because that at least gets the clock stopped where you can kind of get some order to your offense. Huddle up, settle down. You got 4 down, 2 more downs now. You're going into 4th down.
Yeah, you can't even think about punting it away.
No,
with
you're
one
not punting this, baby.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Boy, listen to this Fargo Dome.
It was quiet for a while. Not anymore. This is the knock, Dave, on this type of offense. When you get down late and you got to put together a 2-minute drive to either tie the ball game or go win it, it is tough to do. When you're not used to
comes in at quarterback.
Yeah, when you're not used to throwing the football, it is tough to do.
Is caught inbounds at the 35-yard line by Zach Walker, and he beat the All-American Marcus Williams.
We're right here, nice jam off the line of scrimmage, but you gotta can't stop. He slows down, Williams doesn't. An excellent throw by Ute. Under pressure, he delivers on time.
Just the 9th catch of the year for Walker. 1st down and 10 from the 36. McKinnon falls forward to the 31. Give him 5. Ricky Hagan with the tackle.
This is where they got to hurry up. It's only going to stop if they pick up 1st downs or get out of bounds. Well, you're almost, if you don't have success on 1st down, you may want to think about clocking it just to stop the clock.
There goes McKinnon. He'll get it to the 29. Travis Beck now with 15 stops, and Georgia Southern, with all those field goal woes, may turn to a soccer player that just joined the team 2 days ago.
Well, you think a few butterflies are churning in his belly when he knows what's at stake?
Football. Georgia Southern will have it. Big hit came from Carlton Littlejohn. It's 4th down. The ball sits at the 33-yard line.
Boy, he has played an excellent game. Watch Littlejohn right here. He's got quarterback responsibilities and just shoots through and causes the fumble.
Well, here's the story, folks. Georgia Southern hasn't been able to kick a field goal all year. It has been a struggle. Hanks is 7 out of 17. Nowicki 1 out of 3.
Timeout, North Dakota State. That's their 3rd and final.
And now they bring in Drew Ruggles.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
A junior Georgia Southern soccer player who kicked in high school. And it got so bad that Jeff Monken this week in practice said, I can't go to the semifinal without somebody who can kick it through the uprights. And he found Drew Ruggles.
He's going to get a chance to send it to overtime from about right around 50 yards. What drama. Love it.
The winner of this one will move to the championship game. Ruggles loves, he says, one of his ambitions is swim with the Sharks. Well, he's swimming with the Sharks without a cage right now. This will be a 50-yard attempt. Blocked. Caught. And flags are down all over the field.
Yeah, the big fella been better off just kind of trying to tip it to someone else.
Carlton Littlejohn with the blocked field goal. What a tough place to put Drew Ruggles into the game, but it was your only option.
Illegal touching. Brandon Ellsbury single. 55. Offense. Penalty is declined. The line of the game is not met. First down, North Dakota State.
Here's the block kick. Good snap. Ruggles took a little bit too long, and the inexperience shows right there. About a step or a half a step too long. And it's Littlejohn again with a block in the play of the game.
North Dakota State heading back to Frisco, Texas, to try and defend their national championship.
The ball game is over.
Greg Bull, Jeff Monken shake hands. They did this a year ago, and North Dakota State won that one, and they win this one. So one finalist has been determined. The Bison will wait to see if it's Sam Houston State or Eastern Washington. Either way, there's championship experience heading to Frisco. And another season comes to a close in the semifinals for Georgia Southern as they lose it 23-20. What a finish here at the Fargo Dome. So for my partner, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano, and the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long. Let's send it to SportsCenter.